Alright guys, I'm going to show you a deck today that you can use to reach your end of season goals. It's patch 1.3 right now and the season's ending on the 24th of June. So this is going to be a super cheap deck that you can craft to climb up to whatever rank you want. This is going to be really quick games, really good deck for climbing, and it costs, it's one of the cheapest decks to craft in the game. So whatever your goal is to end this rank season on, this deck can easily carry you there. Let's run through the list super quickly, and then we'll jump into some gameplay, and I'll show you guys how to pilot this deck a little bit, and hopefully you can climb some ranks and have some fun. So first of all, let's jump right into our 1-drops, the Navori Blade Scout. This thing gains the elusive tag on the round that you drop it, so we want to be using this on our offensive rounds. Generally, I don't use this super early unless I have a better option. It's better as kind of chip damage later on in the game, and you can actually buff this card up with transfusion to get it quite strong and doing a lot of damage. So use this later on in the game unless you don't have a better option. Precious Pet, now this guy is one of the best 1-drops for us. He has the fearsome tag. He's pretty much always hitting face, especially if you're attacking on turn 1. You drop this, there's almost nothing in the game that can block it. Really good 1-drop, and I pretty much always keep this guy in my opening hand. Crimson Disciple, this thing is one of the MVP 2-drops in this deck. It combos super well with Transfusion, it combos super well with our Imperial Demolitionist, and is just a really strong all-around 2-drop. We have our Green Glade Duo. This thing, whenever you summon an ally, it's going to gain an extra point of attack, so you can do a lot of cool stuff with this. Always drop this first if you're planning on attacking with it, and then summon a couple of other things. So you can do things like on turn 4, if you have the attack token with the Green Glade Duo, you can drop the Duo, you could drop something like 2 Blade Scouts, and then you have a total of 8 elusive damage going straight to the opponent's face. So think about when you're using this and make sure to drop it first so you can get its attack value buffed up nice and high. We have our Imperial Demolitionist play. You deal 1 to an ally to deal 2 to the enemy Nexus. Everyone's pretty much seen this working with the Crimson Disciple. You drop this on your Crimson Disciple, that's 4 Nexus damage straight to face, and then you have 2 bodies to work with. Really strong combo. If you have these 2 in your hand, you want to be going for that combo pretty much every time. We have our Legion Grenadier, just a solid 2-drop, high attack line. He's going to do 2 to the enemy Nexus no matter what. So that's pretty much why we put him in here, is just solid 2-drop. We have a Navori Conspirator in here. We've actually got 2 of them. So this guy can be a little bit clunky if you're running a full set, but I find with 2 he works pretty well. You can use him to bounce things like your Imperial Demolitionist. You can bounce that back into your hand and then get the active effect again, especially if you have a Crimson Disciple on board already. That's going to be another 4 damage going straight to their face. You can also use him to bounce things like the Blade Scout. After this guy's lost his elusive tag, he's not that useful, he's just a 2-1 sitting on board, so you might want to bounce him back into your hand, wait till it's your attack token, and then drop the Blade Scout and get another guaranteed 2 damage to their face. We have Transfusion. This is a burst speed spell, a really good combat trick. Enemy can't react to it, it's just super strong all around. Always running a full set of this in most Noxus decks, it's just super strong. Noxian Fervor. This card is going to deal 3 to an ally to deal 3 to anything. This includes your enemy's Nexus, so that's the main thing you're going to be using it for, is just face damage onto the enemy's Nexus. You always want to use this card reactively because it is quite easy to disrupt. So say if you have a monk on board and the enemy uses a grasp on your monk and you have enough mana, you could use this Noxian Fervor to deny the enemy's heal and actually deal 3 damage to their face at the same time, so you're effectively doing 6 damage to them. So this is a card you always want to use reactively. Don't use it first, use it second, wait till they've tapped out of mana or they don't have any good options, and then you can Noxian Fervor for some big damage. Shadow Assassin helps us cycle through our deck, helps us not run out of gas, and she's a nice elusive body. We have a Solitary Monk. This is one of the MVPs in this deck. This card will win you a lot of games. It has 4 attack, which is absolutely huge. You can pretty much ride her to victory a lot of time. You just have to be aware that when you summon her, it's going to recall all your other allies. So make sure you're thinking about that when you drop her down, but she can just get massive amounts of work done. Love this card. We have 2 copies of Twin Disciples. pretty flexible card. We can use it at burst speed to buff our attack, or save a card from damage. It's a really flexible card, really nice. We have one copy of Deny. Sometimes you just need it, man. Not much to be said about it. 2 Will of Ionia. I don't like running 3 in this deck because it's a little bit slow. You don't want to brick your hand full of Will of Ionias. With 2 it does show up enough and it's going to get the job done. And then lastly, right at the top of the deck, we have a full stack of Decimate. This is just great over the top damage. I pretty much end almost every game with Decimate. It's just amazing card. And that's the list, guys. So we'll jump into some gameplay and show you how it works, and hopefully you can give it a go yourself and climb up some ranks. Do some gameplay and try and get a couple of wins. So up against the Brom Vlad deck. Excellent, so we've got our 1-drop, our Precious Pet, so we know this can't be blocked by Omen Hulk, so this is going to get 2 damage in. If we open attack next turn, he's got the attack token on turn 1, so what we need to think about now is trying to fish for some cards that will combo with our Disciple. We don't have anything we want to recall with the Conspirator. Legion Grenadier is going to be a nice 2-drop, but it's going to get blocked by the Omen Hulk quite easily. This is going to do much better against it. We already know our Precious Pet isn't going to be able to be blocked by it. So let's see, nice, we got a Transfusion. There goes the Hawk. We can put our pet down. Now we don't want to block this because we don't care about our Nexus health. We are trying to end this game very quickly, so we're using our Nexus health as a resource. Now we've got 2 options here. We could just open attack with the pet and get 2 damage guaranteed in, or we could try and develop our Disciple and go for a bit more damage. I think I like developing here. So the Ruthless Raider is fine here. We're just going to attack with our pet. So he could put something like an Ember Maiden down here now. Well, he's attacking with his Omen Hawk, so this is signaling to me that he has a Transfusion in hand, because he wants to transfuse from this and make this into a 3/3. Which is quite strange. You could have Elixir of Iron for this as well. I think we're not going to I'm not going to block either of these, just because of his combat tricks. We're using our Nexus health as a resource again, and we're going to keep developing wide. We don't want to put this down because it's not going to be elusive next round. We want it to be elusive. So we have a Transfusion, we can do some shenanigans now. Let's just think about the order of this. It doesn't really matter, does it? No, we're okay. Okay, so he's got an Elixir of Iron for his Ruthless Raider, which is fine. Now, we've got double Transfusion in hand with our Disciple on the board. So I think we can for sure just buff up our Precious Pet to ungodly levels. So you see that's doing 2 damage every time I damage the Disciple. And then we got 6 going into face now. We've got 2 going off from our last breath here. And that's just a lot of damage when he's on 8. He does have the opportunity to drop Brom.
I need the reputation.
I helped build this empire.
Okay. How much damage has he got this turn? We're just gonna pass. Now he signaled to us before that he has transfusions in his hand. He could even have double, so we definitely need a block. Probably block this. Because this guy is going to give another ally +1/+0 when they survive damage. This thing he can't transfuse off because it's not going to be actually doing, well, he can do it. It's not going to survive damage. And this thing's going to generate a card if he transfuses it. So we've given up on our precious pet now. He's just basically become a jump blocker. We want to go all in with the monk. So there's a transfusion. Wouldn't be surprised if he has a second one here. Now he has 2 mana left. That works.
Let none disturb my meditation.
So we're both on 6. We've got the monk. We keep developing. Get all our damage out there.
Everyone bleeds for the right price.
So he has the Death Lotus. So this is what I'm talking about, guys, with your Noxian Fervor. Always use this card reactively. If we had have used it last turn, he could have done that and killed us. So he's got no mana now, so he's got no way to actually stop this. So it's a free win for us. And there we go. Alright, let's run it back, see if we can get another game. See if we can maybe pull some of our other combos and just show you guys how they work. But I really think, guys, if you craft this deck and you play a couple of games with it, just play like 3-5 normal games with it, get the hang of it, see how it plays, and then jump into some ranked. Start climbing really quickly. This deck just catches people by surprise. It has a lot of tools just to end the game. And the best thing about it is you're going to be playing really quick games, so even if you know, win 2, lose 1, win 2, lose 1, be climbing really quick, much quicker than if you're playing a control deck. Okay, so we're up against Lucian Draven. Now this is another very aggressive deck. So we don't want to keep the Conspirator. It's not going to be really doing much for us. The Monk could come in pretty big here on turn 3. But I really want a 2-drop. Possibly something that could contest Lucian. Even though there's not actually much. We might actually keep the Monk here, guys, and try and just ride this Monk to victory. Nice. So we've got the attack token. Let's put the pet down. There's nothing you can put down that's going to be able to stop this going to its face. And it doesn't even have a 2-drop. So the big thing we need to be scared of in this matchup is Lucian leveling up. If he has Lucian now, and then you know, generates a bunch of minions and allows it to level up, but it's going to be annoying. Okay.
Let me show you what I can do.
Remember why we fight.
So we can trade into this turn. He could have something like Ranger's Resolve. He's not running it. Now in this situation, guys, I have the Monk. Okay, I've actually got 2 Monks and I've got a Disciple on board. 3 mana and some burn spells. If we put the Monk down, we're actually potentially gaining, you know, doing 4 damage to him rather than our guaranteed 2 here at the moment. So we're going to recall our Disciple. But I think it's actually worth putting the Monk down here. Even though we set ourselves a little bit behind, this 4 damage is going to matter a lot compared to the 2. And we can drop this down next turn and do some transfusion shenanigans. So it's one of those spots where you have to weigh up, you know, how much damage you're getting and how much is it going to cost you to recall this. So now I'm not too upset about that recall. We actually gained 2 damage. We lost our minion off the board, but it didn't really matter. Now he's only got 3 mana. We just keep slamming these minions down.
Burn away the shadows.
We're gonna let him hit us. There's no reason to block with anything here. Using our health once again as a resource. You want to be the one
If they don't break, they'll burn.
making the aggressive plays on board. Now he could have a single combat for this. He could single combat these 2 together. He doesn't have it, which is really good. So we get 4 damage to the face. Absolutely massive. So we've got a bit of a choice here. We could either attack with everything. These 2 obviously just get wiped out by Draven and Lucian. However, our Monk is probably going to hit him in the face. And we can transfuse onto it, which would be really nice. Does he run any elusive units? If we put this down, is that setting us too far behind? So we're trying to get an extra 2 damage here, guys. Fair and hopeful.
Fast as wind, light as air. They cannot hide.
Now I actually want to send these out. These are never going to hit face again. But if he is forced to trade into one of these, you know, either with this Lucian or this Trifarian, it could potentially save us. I mean, we've got heaps of burn in hand.
Hey, buddy, what you doing? Hold the line! This is gonna hurt for you. Got an axe with your name on it. Keep him back!
So, a battling ally strikes all battling enemies. So we can't even buff that out of range with transfusion. Can do is
Is that all?
buff up our Elusives unit. And we'll see his response here. Actually, I haven't seen this card in so long.
This fight isn't over.
He was on 4 and he rallied. But because we attacked with our 2 minions here, we forced him to block with this 5-2, and this rally, like, it's not nearly as scary now. Like 6 damage. If he had been coming into this rally with 11 damage, you know, plus a couple of spinning axes,
For the money makers.
and then next turn over the top damage, this would have been very, very scary. And we're gonna go down to 7 here. We have the over the top damage next turn with Decimate. I highly doubt he's running heal in this aggressive deck. I think this block is just going to I mean, he's obviously got another spinning axe, right? But he has to get rid of a card for it. So we're not too concerned with this elusive minion dying.
Now we're cooking.
We just want to stop any potential, you know, lethal shenanigans from him. Something like double Noxian Fervor could actually end us there if we didn't block. Possibly these 2 cards in his hand. So he either has the lethal and he's thinking about how to play it. Okay.
For the kill.
So we just drop the Decimate here. And another win. So I promise you guys, this deck will get you really good results. Guys, if you made it to the end of the video, I just want to say a massive, massive thank you. I've been thinking about doing this for a while. There's going to be some more videos coming. Sorry about the mic quality at the moment. I'm getting a new mic in the mail. I'm getting a webcam. We're going to be making a ton of cool videos for you guys to watch. So if you liked it, hit the thumbs up button. Maybe subscribe to me. That'll help us grow, and I can't wait to share some cool new content with you guys. So just thank you so much if you're here, and I'll see you next time. Bye.